Greetings and welcome to your destination. You've reached the Psychological Wellness Hub. We aim to help you build your knowledge and wellness around better understanding mental health and psychological concepts. Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic will be an expansion or part 2 on borderline personality disorders. Please feel free to watch part 1 video on borderline personality disorder introduction in this series, which prepares you for this video. The link for part 1 is down below in the description of this video, just below the screen. To learn more about specific personality disorders, please look at the description below for links or select in the channel library or playlist for specific personality disorders to watch more about. Quick review. Can BPD disrupt your life? Yes. It can cause minor to extreme difficulties. It can impair several areas of your life, like your social life, your work life, school life, responsibilities, and goals. It can be short-lived or it can last many years, impairing the individual. More on symptoms of borderline personality disorder or BPD. BPD is a pervasive or persistent pattern of instability in social relationships, self-image, and emotions. Please be aware that each person is different and unique in the way they experience their symptoms. Some people can have a set of symptoms and someone else can have a very different set of symptoms. Having said that, here are some general overlapping symptoms. Intense and frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. This means that you have fears that others you care for will leave you, throw you under the bus, discard you like trash. Interpersonal or social relationships will also be defined by extremes. You will have moments where you feel like those you care about, including your FP or your favorite person, will be the greatest people on earth. You will feel like there's love pouring out of you for them and them for you. Then you will feel like they are the worst and most heinous person you have ever met, your arch nemesis, public enemy number 1. These shifts come often and swiftly in the way that you see others. It's not uncommon for this shift to happen instantaneously. It will often leave you feeling insecure and confused in relationships. It will likely leave others feeling various states in regard to their connection with you in the relationship. Marked identity disturbance. Unstable self-image. The way you roller coaster in your view of others also happens in the way that you see yourself. You alternate quite often from seeing yourself as an acceptable person to hating what you see when you relate to yourself or look at yourself in the mirror. You may have difficulty controlling or resisting the worry about your status in relationships or how you view yourself. You may become easily fatigued and emotionally drained. You may experience frequent impulsivity in perception and actions, frequent risk-taking and potential self-damaging acts, things like drugs, alcohol, thrill-seeking behaviors, reckless driving, spending, binge eating, food restrictions, promiscuity, meaning having a lot of sexual behavior in order to be able to cope. You may have recurrent self-termination thoughts or behaviors or actions. These include actual self-damaging behaviors to your body, things like self-mutilation or cutting. You may have frequent self-termination thoughts, frequent talks of this to other people, obsessing about ways to self-terminate, threatening these types of actions to loved ones when it feels like they frustrate you or are going to abandon you or bring about your fears. You may actually have a history of actual attempts of self-termination. You may experience chronic feelings of emptiness, frequent, intense feelings that overwhelm you. You often feel like they are going to overtake you and you will lose it. Frequent problems with anger and anxiety, as those are common ways humans avoid those more tender emotions that feel scary to feel. You may tend to throw things, yell at the top of your lungs, scream at others. You may have frequent emotional fits that may feel like tantrums to you and to others. You may fight with others, often verbally or physically. At times you may notice that you even feel a bit paranoid and accusatory towards others. You might even temporarily experience stress-related sensory difficulties, things like voices, seeing things, hearing things, smelling things. But these tend to go away fairly quickly once you reduce your access to the stressor. At times you may notice you lose time or seem to drift off in your head, almost like you're in a daydream. Cognitive or thinking symptoms. These are things that you may tend to think in response to yourself or others. I just know it. They're going to leave me. You despise me, don't you? I hate you. Don't leave me. Mike is trying to embarrass me. I'm going to beat him up for it. Doesn't matter, he is my best friend. I can't take this. I can't handle this. I can't deal with this. I need to get messed up. I'd rather feel this tear at my arm than have to deal with this emotional pain I'm feeling. It's a relief compared to dealing with that. I feel empty inside. I don't know who I am. I've never really known who I am. George has no idea how much I need him. I will follow him around till he gets it through his thick skull that I need him. Emotional symptoms, things like intense fear, dread, irritation, emptiness, rejection, abandonment. Physical symptoms, things like your heart, muscle tension, anxiety, increased pulse, dry mouth, dizziness, driftiness, or feeling like you're in a trance, difficulties concentrating, mind going blank, feeling like you're on edge or keyed up, fatigue or worn out feeling. Behavioral symptoms, you may tend to pace, avoid, have restless limbs, engage in weeping or crying, getting loud, socially intense behaviors. Some individuals might talk about their BPD symptoms in this way. I hate you, don't leave me. You are the best friend I've ever known. You are the worst kind of person. You are disgusting. You are no friend of mine. Saying all of that in the same sentence. Everybody is running away from me. If I just try harder, they will love me and not let me go. I feel lost all the time. I can be whatever you need me to be. Oh, I love cars too. You love fishing? I'm a fisherman too. Help me. I'm lost and so alone. I feel emptiness. Nothing. Like I don't exist sometimes. I'm not happy unless I'm connected to someone. I can't feel whole if I'm not around my FP. But in the same breath, they drive me to rage. If I can't have you, no one can have you. But I love you, and I can't live without you. You see, you need to be with me in my life. How can you live without me in your life? You see, we're meant to be together. More on how others experience your borderline personality disorder or BPD. While some people will have the same experience of your symptoms, the experiences will vary with each person. Other persons will experience you as someone whom is emotionally intense. Others, including your FP or favorite person, will experience you as someone who is hard to read and stay on the same page with. People will find that either you see them as their BFF and seconds or moments later you treat them as they are public enemy number one. They will feel like they have to walk on eggshells around you. People feel like you will never be the same person constantly, that they are uncertain if they're going to get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. People will try to save and rescue you and will either lean into that at times or you will push them away. This can happen within moments or seconds of one another. At times when you're trying to escape, get away from it all, get some relief from the pain, you might be doing things like having random sexual encounters, getting high on drugs, trying to focus on rescuing others, hurting yourself through cuts on different parts of your body to accomplish this escape. This will scare other people when you only really want to escape the pain of life, to use physical pain to escape the emotional pain. At times you will react to others' actions as if you feel abandoned, neglected, left out like trash. People will often feel confused by what you say and what you do. They will not understand why you feel that way or what the heck happened to make you react so strongly. Barriers to healing and recovering from BPD. What are the things that keep them going? Here's a brief list of some barriers to healing that keep BPD going. Things like avoidance, avoiding dealing with anxiety or problem solving, overanalyzing the situation or waiting or expecting others to fail you, excessive stress, rating how we feel in the moment as how we will always feel, forgetting that we don't always feel this bad. Negative thinking is not bad, but it can help us, but if it becomes a dominant focus by our choice, then it hurts us. Focusing too much on our weaknesses, using drugs, alcohol, or pills to escape, trying to escape through self-hurting, avoiding all emotions, including those that feel overwhelming, preventing you from building up your tolerance to those emotions, constantly focusing on others as a way to avoid working or focusing on yourself. Avoid learning more about and exploring your BPD and its origin. What does BPD look like? Here are some examples. I'm going to read some examples of individuals with BPD. Please note that these are not real people, but the stories represent real scenarios. Listen while I tell you about their stories. Listen for details of their BPD and how it impacts different areas of their lives. Bob is a 20-year-old student with borderline personality disorder, or BPD. He is always tense and on edge. He tries to connect with other people, but will frequently get rejected after other people really try to be his friend. Bob will latch onto people and try to be the best friend possible with fellow students and coworkers. Bob will try to be something he is not, just to try to get to people to like him and befriend him. He is almost like a chameleon, as his interests change from person to person or moment to moment as he tries to adapt to their liking and avoid being abandoned by them. He becomes possessive at times and others don't like it. Bob has had a number of restraining orders in the past. He almost got convicted of a robbery when one of the parties in the group confided that Bob just tagged along because he wanted to belong. Jody is a woman in her 40s who has a long history of unstable relationships and alcoholism. Jody goes from man to man trying to have a relationship. Her insecurity and anger often lead to fears of abandonment and eventually causes her boyfriends to leave her. Jody will often become volatile, insecure, and put her fears onto her boyfriends, telling them that they are the ones who are angry and scared to the point she villainizes them. She gets even more intense when she is drinking. Jody will nick at her wrist from time to time to get a release from emotional pain. Jody has often threatened to self-terminate to her past boyfriends and came close one time when she was really intoxicated. Bonnie is in her 30s. She will frequently engage in thrill-seeking behaviors. She feels like all of her friends and partners like this, but they don't. She can't seem to understand why they complain and show concern for her when she knows they like it too. Bonnie often looks in the mirror and doesn't like what she sees. She often thinks she is depressed and ignores that she experiences forms of self-attack and putting herself down. She will go from feeling like she is on top of the world, but she is not bipolar or manic. She will quickly shift several times an hour to several times a day between being overly joyed with her self-perception to seeing herself as the scum of the earth in her mind. Bonnie will often go out during these times of extremes to do thrill-seeking behaviors to avoid being caught up in her insecurities. Bonnie will tell her friends when they don't go with her that they don't love her and they only care about themselves, then will proceed to stomp away and go through a fit where she will start to hitting things like objects and yelling out quite loud. At other times, she will shift to a childlike dependency with her friends, inviting them to take care of her so she can feel loved in her self-perception and by others. Seth has generalized anxiety disorder and borderline personality disorder. He has many concerns and worries over many things. He also has the fear of leaving his home and being trapped, which is another condition called agoraphobia. Seth also has a lot of diffuse anxiety, which is part of his BPD and not his generalized anxiety disorder. Seth is a lead singer in a rock band. He injects his body with H and has a rather heavy habit. Seth likes to stay in this state constantly. As one listens to his lyrics in the songs, one can quickly notice the negative tone and the themes of self-loathing in his lyrics. This is played out in his heavy use of H and his long list of destructive relationships and behaviors he has engaged in, from random promiscuity to sharing needles to allowing himself to be used in compromising ways with others, to limiting his food intake, to fast driving cars under the influence. Seth wears clothing and carries himself to attract individuals who do not have his best interest in mind and intend to exploit him. Seth's family members and friends are constantly worried about him and trying to get him into rehab, but Seth has no motivation to address these issues at this moment, as his motivations is to bury them as far away from him as possible. He fears facing them, his emotions, and that they will lead him to getting lost in the darkness and becoming very disorganized, borderlining on becoming psychotic. We hope you found today's topic was useful for yourself or someone else. Let us know if it was by commenting below. Let us know what you'd like to hear about or what topics could be useful to you by commenting below, and we'll take it under consideration. If you like what you heard today and would like to hear more from Destination Psychological Wellness Hub, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel by selecting the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen and by clicking the thumbs up. This will help us get the newest content produced by the channel to you. Please tell all your friends and family about this channel and share it and other videos with them on this channel. Encourage them too to like and subscribe. And as always, we hope your psychological wellness continues to grow with us in this community. Thank you.